I'm Michael Comstock. I just wanted to start off by saying what this video is about. This video is a love letter to makers, creatives, people who build things with their hands. I will oftentimes start projects and not click record. So this time I decided to share some of those pieces and capture the process of making things. This is the first of, I hope, many to just talk through the process and just share my love for making. And what this piece is about, just kind of talking about the backstory behind the art piece itself. This piece was set up with the criteria of wanting to use discarded materials. I wanted to be able to make this piece with discarded materials. Another criteria that I wanted to put in place was have something that was interactive. I feel like a lot of art is really static, and that is cool. Like, it's amazing to be able to make things that have craftsmanship put into them. I've made a lot of projects that like are executed to awesome technicality, but the interactivity was an aspect that I wanted to bring into this piece. And I wanted to be able to have this juxtaposition when the piece was interacted with. So when you first look at it, it looks one way, and then once you interact with it, you either have a new color reveal or a juxtaposition of like themes. So in this piece, you have humanity and technology are kind of playing off of each other. So with these three criteria, that was really the like starting point for it. I knew how to get the like aesthetic portion across. I knew how to be able to get the material usage. I have used repurposed materials for a lot of my art pieces. It just helps with costs, and also helps me not see things go into a landfill. So for this project, the interactivity part was the part that was overcome the challenge that I'm like, I didn't really have knowledge on this prior to this. I have some knowledge of how to make interactivity, but I've never made wood gears before. So that was a really fun challenge to be able to understand how do I have that interactivity in that piece? And you'll kind of see the thinking process that went into those pieces throughout the way. There are some areas that I didn't cover when it comes to the spray painting and masking, but there's some great time lapses in there, a little bit ASMR moments of cutting canvas, and really proud to see how this piece came out. I think it turned out really awesome to see materials that I found next to a dumpster, or found as like scrap pieces that I kept from a previous project, like the timber that was used for it to be able to carve the face into, or the big wood gears were these panels from a plant stand that weren't being used anymore. There's like a lid of a jar, these other scrap pieces of wood to be able to make the frame in there. I am very happy with how this came out and the knowledge that I was able to gain. I hope you enjoyed getting to watch this. I'll quit blabbing right now and you get into the video, and hope you enjoy. And the reason this keeps wiggling around a bunch is because these hinges are not actually hooked in yet, just to make it easier to open this up and take these face plates off, since I need to get in here and finish the actual open version of the face in here. But this part right here, super happy with. These ones under here that push it back to being closed, that one was super easy. These ones were not that easy to make. Learned a lot in this process. Very happy with how these turned out. And here are the learning process. These little look like the top of a cruise ship. I don't know, like little angels. They got little wings on either side, but these little ones did not work. So I got these extra little parts that didn't work, but I'll use them for something else in another art project. But very cool to see this functioning, and it's going to be cosmetic after this. I first had gone into this piece, there was going to be a hand crank on there that would be that would move the cogs. Then, as I was thinking about it, I was like, how can I build a story into that interactivity? So this idea of driving a dagger into a heart and revealing new beginnings for not humanity but for technology, I think was a really interesting play that I wouldn't have discovered unless I went through that process of making. Much for making it to the end of this video. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope ultimately that you will go and make something out of whatever things you have there. I think there's a lot of barriers that we create in our own minds of, oh no, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough skill, I don't have the perfect materials that the art supply store sells. It doesn't matter. You can find a used can of paint somewhere and use a piece of board to be able to paint on. Can of spray paint. You can do some pretty incredible stuff with things that would be discarded. And maybe you do have a sketchbook that you haven't touched in a long time that you're like, okay, like, or you have an instrument that you haven't, you have dust collecting on. Like, just go out and make something. I hope that you will quit watching videos as much as I enjoy you hanging out here. Go make something, and thank you for stopping in.